Good day, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, diplomacy has been one of the main instruments for states to conduct their international affairs. In the past, country-oriented system of diplomacy that was implemented after the Westphalia Treaties was stable and viable. But now, in 21st century, roles of diplomacy and conflicts have drastically changed. Modern diplomacy is currently experiencing fundamental changes at an unprecedented rate, which affects the very character of diplomacy as we know it. My presentation consists of 5 parts: introduction, diplomacy made for war, diplomacy made for peace, summary, and conclusion. Today we are going to analyze the role of diplomacy in modern war and peace. We will try to investigate the core processes of modern international politics in which diplomacy is involved. Military force and diplomacy by nature are the main instruments of pressing one government's agenda onto others by various means. As well as conflict prevention, diplomacy often used to cause these conflicts. Let's talk about the role of diplomacy in war. In modern era, unfortunately, diplomacy of force, or coercive diplomacy, is more viable than the force of diplomacy. This leads us to a bright example of this kind of diplomacy, the Bosnian conflict of the 1990s. During the war, the UN proposed a resolution that was supposed to end the conflict between Yugoslavian and Kosovo forces and prevent further military action. After failed attempts to propose the resolution, NATO decided to first implement the resolution by bombarding Yugoslavia. So the resolution was implemented, NATO used military force without the express endorsement of the UN Security Council, which triggered debates over the legitimacy of the intervention. Now, let's review another side of diplomacy that is focused on preventing conflicts, or at least preventing further escalation of ongoing conflicts. Firstly, let's talk about preventive diplomacy. A great example of it can be found in the same Bosnian conflict, when Macedonia, the former part of Yugoslavia, declared its independence. So Macedonia was untouched by the wars in Yugoslavia. Tensions grew on the northern border of Macedonia, as Albanian rebels were ready to start a military operation to gain control over northern Macedonian territories. After that, the UN reacted quickly by deploying preventive deployment force to ensure the safety of the state. After the deployment, negotiations took place. As a result, tensions between Albanian nationalists and Macedonia ceased and the conflict was successfully prevented. To sum it up, we can say that the diplomacy for war and peace both have different goals. In the case of coercive diplomacy, it's often used when most of the peaceful solutions have failed or were rejected. However, in the case of preventive diplomacy, it's used to prevent conflicts and find a peaceful solution. In conclusion, I would like to say that coercive diplomacy and preventive diplomacy are becoming more and more common in the modern international relations, and if there will be no turning points in this area, it will continue this way. Here are the references that were used in my presentation. Thanks for your attention.